Hello, everybody. My name is Lettuce, and welcome to Lake of Voices. And today I have been joined by Rom once again. As you guys may know, she is my partner in this series.
Was still eating and started the recording, even though he knew I was still eating.
Oh well, she's eating no matter what every single time we're on a call.
Hey, that is offensive.
But very true.
Wait, that's stupid.
It is very factual. You've only been eating when we've been on a call.
It's the only time I would actually eat.
Which would be interesting considering how many times we're not on a call.
And then you only decide to call when I'm eating something.
Also, you decide only to respond when you're eating.
Um,
And then you get more
Because-
food once we start the call.
because I need snack food, you know?
So much snack food that we're interrupting our gameplay just to talk about you eating. Anyways, let's continue with this Lake of Voices series. And as you guys may know, in the previous video, pretty much we had talked so much that we didn't even get far in the video, kind of like what we're doing now, considering how we've already been talking for just a straight minute and haven't even shown you any gameplay yet. So let's get down to it. After some time...
Because I was eating food.
After...
Eating Tostitos.
After some time, I noticed Margaret isn't keeping up with the guide as much as she was before. I realize it's because the guide has increased his pace.
Oh, he's scared. No, they smell bad.
Margaret begins to jog in an effort to keep up with him, and Bamel and I do the same. Despite this, the guide keeps getting further away.
He starts running.
Sprints off. Like, Hunter x Hunter, the beginning test.
Yeah, oh, I hated that. How do they keep up with that? It's like 5 hours non-stop running. Like, they're gonna die.
We go faster and faster until suddenly we're full on sprinting across the stick wooden boards. Figures in the dark fog fly past us at a blur, and it occurs to me that the branching paths in the bridge appear to be sinking. Well, sinking? I try hard to swallow my rising panic. It's sinking, and you see him speeding up. What do you think it means?
Water is sinking.
Pretty much, the entire dock is going underwater, the water is rising, which means it is becoming day.
Oh, snap.
Because it said that at the beginning, how it starts to sink when it becomes day.
Already?
So, yeah, that's why, what seems to be the reason why we're having a rising panic. And why the guide is rushing.
Yeah. He's like, man, these people are so slow.
Yeah, he's not even, like, instructing them that it's almost becoming day. Like, they can't see because of the fog.
He just starts running.
Yeah. The guide shouts something, but it's drowned out by the frantic pounding of our footsteps. See, look. He shouts something. He's trying to tell us it's becoming day, we need to hurry.
Yeah.
But we can't hear it.
Oh, damn, that's because they're slow.
He's telling us to, like, get a move on. Run.
Hurry up.
I'm trying to piece together what he said. Don't stop, turn. When he takes a masterfully sharp right down a different path using his own momentum in the sleek wood to slide into the new direction with no loss of speed.
Damn, he's great.
Margaret must not have worked on the warning either, as she is completely caught off guard by the guide's change in course. She runs straight ahead, past the turn, and continues down the path we've been following up until now. She clumsily begins to halt her momentum down the wrong bridge. Then I come upon the fork. We need to save her. How about saving her? Saving her.
No.
I keep straight. Well, the thing is, she's going down that, and that's a sinking side. We need to pull her back.
Oh, damn. I'm gonna lose it, the guide.
Well, if so, then we get a CG and we could go back. I keep straight ahead, not making an attempt to go to the correct direction. Bamel seems to fumble slightly, but stays close behind me, and in light, I inwardly apologize. I come upon Margaret, who nearly runs into me in her efforts to turn around. Her face twists at the sight.
Wait a minute, was she running with her hand on her face?
We keep it this way.
I got you.
I ignore her and move to face the other way. The path we came from is disappearing into the water. It's sinking. Oh wait, she was going to be trapped there.
Oh.
She was going to die off no matter what we chose.
Oh.
Oh wait, never mind. She wasn't going to die off if we chose for Bamel to be in second.
Wait, does that mean Bamel would have died?
That means Bamel would have died. And now all three of us are dying.
Oh.
The guy... all three of us are dying because Bamel went with us because we had the lantern.
Are you kidding? Whatever, just continue.
Yeah. We have to jump.
What?
Margaret holds up her hands, but I grab her and spin her towards the path the guide is on. Go! We'll catch up! So, okay, never mind. We are saving her. Good. We're saving her. We were worried about the death. But Mel and I will have to jump together. He needs the light. Just move. I practically shove her, and without further hesitation, she takes the leap. She makes it just past the edge of the bridge, knees buckling as she lands, but is soon back up on her feet and holds her lantern out towards me. She beams with pride. Because it said sometimes we don't need to press it in order to get a good decision. So, like, my instant thought process was was don't press it, because if she's out there on her own, she won't have a good time. We need to pull her out.
Let Margaret die, man.
Encourage her to keep going, or point towards guide.
Towards the guide.
I gesture down the bridge to the guide's rapidly fading light. Margaret slowly nods and then runs after him.
Go.
Here. I offer Bamel my hand, tightening my grip on my lantern. Bamel accepts the offer, giving it a brief squeeze. A tight smile plasters itself across my face as I try to calculate the distance between our bridge and the other. Then the ground starts to shake more. Jump! We dash to the bridge's edge and leap. Cold air rushes past my face, winding its fingers into my hair. For an instant, I think I see something moving under the surface of the water. Then we land hard on the wooden bridge. See, like I told you, this would save her. This would save her, because otherwise she would have been stuck with that thing under the water. Because the thing is, the water is rising, and now we have to sprint after him. And because we sent Margaret away, and how we reacted a bit afterwards, we could follow Margaret's light, because she also has a lantern, so...
Like you already played this.
I did not. I've just been, for some reason, guessing and getting everything right.
Are you using your head?
Using my head with guessing. Bamel lets out a sigh of Bamel lets out a sigh of relief as we both creakily get fully back on our feet. But yeah, we're like mentioning every single point that we feel is gonna happen, and then we work it out to exactly what we want it to happen.
Margaret to die.
We already understand the logic of this story.
But I really want Margaret to die.
Because, like, we did read the introduction to it in the warning, how it's like, oh, yeah, you kind of have to let some characters die, but some choices you can, like, actually make it if you don't press the timed options.
Mm-hmm.
So, the second I saw that, my mind immediately went to, don't press it, she needs to be saved.
Does she?
Well, you would have just, like, killed her off if you just left her alone.
Oh. Yeah, I would have.
And we would have had one less lantern.
Yeah, but they can make it.
One less lantern.
They would make it.
And she was the closest to the guide.
They will make it. They'll make it. They would be good.
Anyways, Bamel lets out a sigh of relief as we both quickly get fully back on our feet. He gently rubs a thumb over the top of my hand before he releases it. There's a clear sense of affection to it. See, look, he also... yeah, because the thing is, you want to save people with Bamel, because he wants to save people.
Yeah, and then that leads to more romance. Ayy.
Yeah, and you just want to kill off Margaret.
I do. I don't really like Margaret.
She's a supporter, and she's also your second voice.
But she has her hand on her face.
So, Bamel always has his hand on his shoulder. His opposite shoulder.
Well, he has nice shoulders. What can I say?
Yeah, but it's like in between that he has it on.
Yeah, he's good. Don't worry about it.
Stay
nice
close.
arms.
We need to run.
I'll be right behind you.
I take off, not bothering to ensure Bamel is staying true to his word. I know he'll follow. The guide's fading light bounces in the distance, a clear signal that he's still running. I focus everything I have on catching up. Slowly, we begin to close the distance. As the night wears on, our strength rapidly fades. Even my stamina is being challenged. I can't imagine what this must be like for Margaret. She's holding her side as she runs, clearly cramping from the exercise. How much longer will this last? People have to rest sometime. Almost as if in response to my thoughts, the guide abruptly halts, a skid to a stop as well, sliding on the surface of the wood.
Okay. You cannot just randomly stop while running. You gotta slow down, you know? Because if you just randomly stop, it's gonna be really bad for your heart.
That's why I said
in gym class.
Skid to a stop.
Oh my god, I feel so dumb.
What, did he not see it said skid?
Okay, but no, the guide does.
Yeah, the guy just immediately stops. You skid to a stop.
The guide is not human.
Oh my god, the guide's a reaper.
Oh my god.
I mean, prowler. But yeah, pretty much, I have a feeling there's going to be an action after this. Just because. Because, like, this seems like... Because that running seems to be an action scene. Because, like, we already had the turn right.
Okay, look, get ready.
Yeah.
Why did we stop?
I like how I clicked it when you were eating so I could hear you eat as you're talking.
Why did we stop?
Bamel's voice is tired, but his guard is up. Sounds like it's tired because you're eating. The guy doesn't answer, just stares at something slightly out of view. I step up to join him, following his gaze further down the path. There's the extra guy that I'm talking about.
Hercules.
So, yeah, this is the 5th character that will stay with us.
Oh my god. He's or she is beautiful. They are beautiful.
It's a guy.
It is beautiful. What is that in this space? Okay, I will do anything to protect him.
We need to decide who's going to voice him, though. You're saying you already have a guy. I have a quiet guy.
Hardly ever talks, so you can do his voice. But let's...
Because you have... Yeah, the guy barely talks. You have Margaret and Bamel, 2 of the most talkative characters in...
Okay, but I'll have you know that I will be crushing on this ginger boy, okay?
All right. And we also have the narrator. Well, the main character, which has...
the narrator?
Yeah, I know. Main character has... is the narrator, because that's the thoughts. They are extremely talkative. We're balanced out.
Yeah, so I will do the voice.
Wait. Do your best guy voice.
Yo, what up?
No. Just no.
No, I got this. gonna be a super girly voice. I got this. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
Let me
do it.
try it out. Okay, but like, let me try it out though.
Read this with it.
Here, curled in a little ball illuminated by the land.
It didn't
What?
change whatsoever.
Curled in a little ball, illuminated by the lantern's light, covers a person. His hands grip his head, and he rocks from side to side, mumbling incoherently.
No, don't make his voice like that. That sounds terrible.
I can make it a bit deeper.
There, in a curled little ball, illuminated by the lantern's light, covers a person. His hands grip his head, and he rocks from.
Says the Arctic smoker voice.
Well, you wanted it to be like not that, so I had to make it a bit deeper.
Maybe something nicer, you know?
There, curled in a little ball, illuminated by the lantern's light, cowers a person. His hands grip his head, and he rocks from side to side, mumbling incoherently.
That's beautiful. I love it.
You want that voice? Okay.
There, curled in a little ball, illuminated by the lantern's light, cowers a person. His hands grip his head, and he rocks from side to side, mumbling incoherently. It's a man.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. Please, I'm sorry.
I'm struck with an array of questions. What is going on? Why would he wander out onto these bridges on his own? Did he make it this far by himself? Were there others with him? If that's somehow the case, I can't blame him for the state of shock he's in. The man stops mumbling. He glances above him, seemingly only just now having the strength to lift his head. His expression, the deepest sadness, along with the clear marking of terror, are scrawled across his face. I stare at him in shock, not sure what to do.
Leave him.
Oh, don't leave him.
I snap my eyes away from the man instead of to the guide's cold, implacable face.
Oh, no. We can't just leave him here. I love him. We've managed to find enough already. And these creatures will probably pluck him away as soon as we're gone. Without light, it's certain he'll die.
He won't make it regardless.
The guide turns to look at us, his eyes seeming to glow from the closeness of his lantern. For the first time, I feel uncomfortable in his presence.
Whoever shelters him will only risk dragging themselves down with him. Leave him.
No.
I glance at the others, but Mel is outraged, but Margaret is staring at the man with something like fear. She's uneasy, but she doesn't voice her concerns. I'm trying to think of some kind of compromise when the guide speaks again, his voice cutting.
If the man comes, then whoever is shielding him will have to remain at a distance for the rest of the group, far enough that you can't see me, just my light. That is how you will travel across the bridges. I didn't agree to lead this man, and I won't. If you ask me to, I will leave you all behind.
Adrenaline surges through my veins, and I tense up. It's a painful reminder that the guide isn't here to save our lives, but merely to show us the way. We're on our own.
Oh, just like teachers.
Margaret, Bamel, and I frantically share more looks between each other, trying to communicate without words. None of us have a desire to speak and be the first to make a choice.
We're gonna have to choose.
Okay, let's keep him. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
The man is standing now, though still hunched with his arms wrapped around himself as if expecting a blow. He stares at the ground rather than at us. Because of this, I'm having trouble reading his face. What exactly happened to him? Are you well, sir? Are you well, stranger? Do you know where you are and why you're here? He glances up, not at me, but towards me, his eyes resting somewhere near my collarbone.
I'm fine. You can all go on your way. Forget you even saw me here.
So beautiful. That's absurd. You're the beautifulest thing I've ever seen. You have no way to defend yourself, so I can't leave you.
Said we.
You know what? I can't leave you.
Yes, I'm sure in your eyes that might not seem like much, but that's not exactly a fair shake. Maybe in a perfect world, every man would be as large as you, but that's not how things always
He's
go.
flirting.
It doesn't mean I'm defenseless.
He's flirting with me.
The man's response is meandering. The words themselves seem to be in good jest, but he's still barely looking at us, fidgeting with his hands. Bamel frowns, unimpressed.
It was a joke.
He smiles hesitantly, making eye contact with each of us for the first time.
Part of it was supposed to be a joke. You're flirting with me? Do you even realize what is happening in this moment? I am with Kika.
Never mind. Forget that too.
No, I love you.
Point is, I'm alright.
No, you're not. You were curled up in a ball when we met. Exactly. Something must be wrong with you. Here, take my jacket.
Oh no, sounds like you've been talking with my father. I don't want your jacket.
He lets out a weak little laugh, coupled with an eyebrow raise, voice trembling. No one really knows what to make of this.
It's fucking adorable.
The man gives a small wave and begins down the path we came. Bamel huffs, tossing his hands into the air.
I flip. That's not even the right way. Come, follow me and take my jacket. His jacket. It could be if he's trying to get to the side we came from.
He must have come quite a ways if it was the other shore that he started on. The man's smile grows.
Good. That's not so bad.
There is no response to this remark, unsure of what could be said.
I still think he should come with us, and I still think he should take my jacket. A person needs a light and my jacket, and the guide himself said he won't be able to manage on his own. Sticking with us is the best option.
I look over the man's body, nothing, the scrawniness of his limbs. Scrawny, but not necessarily lacking in muscle. The bravado he was showing as he tried to leave us has faded yet again, and now he's standing quietly looking at us as if watching a play. Interest, but no true connection to the events.
It's easy for you to say such things, but whose light are you offering? It's not mine, and you're putting her in even more danger with your own presence already.
Bamel looks at Margaret. She avoids his gaze.
Perhaps I could have let him share my light before. But the guide has said that one with him has to remain behind and be able to manage it. I have separation anxiety.
Bamel's hands turn into his fists. He looks away but doesn't say anything. For a moment, no one does. I feel a cold sweat on my brow as what I fear comes to pass. He's stopping us from protecting another. Why must he get involved now? Why can't he not leave us to make our own decisions?
You don't have to worry about me. I'll be on my way now.
The man's voice is full of something I cannot place, and he starts to shuffle back down the way we came, arms still clenched around himself. Margaret might not be able to take him, but there's another way this could be solved. I could stay back with him.
So, shall we choose ourselves, Margaret, or no one? I have a feeling those are going to be the choices.
Freaking dum-dum.
How about we do ourselves?
Yeah.
I'll put Bamel and myself at significantly more risk, but at least this man will stand a chance.
Oh, so they just immediately chose for us. Put on
Put
a hand to stop him.
I straighten my arm out like a rod, blocking his progress past me. He stops, perplexed. I'm not afraid to stay behind as long as Bamel can remain up front with you, in your light. The guide doesn't say anything, doesn't even blink. Margaret covers her mouth with her hand, muffling some sort of gasp. Bamel smiles sadly at me.
I can always count on you, Mika. Kika.
Oh, where did the M come from?
The man, meanwhile, stands with his mouth agape, truly and genuinely shocked.
Well, what will it be?
Margaret sputters for a second, searching for words but clearly unaware of what to say. Bamel chimes in before she can get anything audible out. I can stay in between you and the guide.
Hey.
I know, yeah, there you go. There's your first line. Continue it.
Okay, I just want to say, the guy looks like Professor Snape from Harry Potter.
I was thinking that the entire time.
It looked like him if he bleached his hair. Stay in between you and the guide. I don't need to be right next to either of you. I don't have to worry about a repeat of what happened earlier.
So pretty well, actually, yeah. You're saying he looks like Alan Rickman.
Yeah. I wouldn't refuse you being here.
Well, we're losing Bamel for this guy.
The guy doesn't acknowledge them. He stares at the stranger. The man shakes under the attention.
No, really, I can't just go on my own. It's fine.
I step closer to him,
beautiful.
lending the support he seems to desperately need. You do not need to go this alone. I will protect you. The man stares at me. I return his gaze, willing him to see my certainty. There need be no blood spilled tonight.
I'm not sure about that.
Slowly, the fear melts off his face, replaced with something like resignation. Then he drops his gaze to the floor.
Okay.
All right. I grasp his shoulder and turn to the rest of the group. You should get a head start, correct? You'll have to put some distance between us.
No. Oh my god, I thought your mouse was like a monster. Okay, no. We don't have to do that.
Yes, we do.
Unnervingly, there's a hint of an emotion in his guide's usually empty voice. Anger. He starts to walk, not waiting for a reply. Margaret grits her teeth, eyes filling with tears, face flushed. She mumbles something in a small voice, something I'm just near enough to hear.
Why am I always so powerless?
She says that quietly.
Why am I always so powerless?
Mumbling to herself.
This statement catches me somewhat off guard. Margaret, powerless? She's not a mercenary, to be sure, but she seems so certain of herself. Then again, I don't know the reason she needs to cross this lake.
Why, man?
Before I can decide whether I should respond, the tears fade from her eyes. Margaret takes a deep breath.
Wait, what happened? Did, the tears get,
No, she's pretty much just... She decided to strengthen herself up, to stop crying, show a strong face, because she feels as though she's lost strength and any ability to do something right about this. So she's using her words to at least encourage in her faith.
It was really well said. You know, I feel like the reason why her hand is stuck to her face is because she super glued it.
That was really well said.
Thank you. Please be careful.
She takes a few steps back, lingering near enough from Bamel. Bamel smiles, first at the stranger and then at me.
You sure you don't want my jacket? Anyways, take back. Oh wait, why am I talking in an accent? You sure you don't need my jacket? Take care back there, alright?
I'm sure. I don't need it.
Give you my jacket anyways.
There's a prowler to your left.
Oh, that's fine. We'll all be together again in heaven. And when we reach the halfway island, aka heaven, it won't be much longer now. Here, take my jacket.
How about I won't take your jacket and we'll just stop it now.
For today's video, thank you guys for watching. My name is Lettuce, and I do hope you guys have enjoyed. We have been playing Like a Voices with Romulus, aka Oof Queen. And please do whatever you want. Honestly, you could comment to tell me what you think about this video, if I should do more, and or whatever series you want me to even try, if you've even stuck around this long, because honestly, I know half of you don't. So, thank you guys for watching, and, yeah, so, thank you guys for watching, and I do hope you enjoy. Now, my name is Lettuce, and signing off.